4th of the Jamestown Public Service District to order. And please stand with me and join me in prayer and 30 seconds of silence. Prayer by Commissioner Brown Crouch.
Gracious Lord, we give you thanks. We thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you that you have allowed the storm to just pass us. Give us each grace. In your name I pray. Thank you. Amen.
30 seconds of silence. Any name you wish to call out that you won't remember?
That's the victim in Hurricane Florence up there in Wilmington and Georgetown.
Joyce Harris, James Island resident, suffering from cancer.
Catherine Norton, member of my church.
Okay. Pledge, Ms. Brown Crouch.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Freedom of Information Act, Ms. White.
Freedom of Information Act. In compliance with the Freedom of Information Act, notice of this meeting and its agenda were provided to all news media and persons requesting notification.
Roll call vote. No, roll call.
Commissioner Brown Crouch,
Yes.
Commissioner Engelmann,
Here.
Commissioner Hollingsworth,
Here.
Commissioner Kernodle,
She's in a business meeting. She may come.
Commissioner Platt,
Here.
Commissioner Wilder,
Here.
Commissioner Wolf. Here.
Okay, oral and written petitions. You have 3 minutes per speaker. We have some signed up.
Yes.
You have the.
The first speaker we have is Alan Laughlin. Hold on one second, Alan.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're lucky. I had 2 things I was going to speak to you tonight, but Franny is here to take care of one of them. So the other one that I have is a carryover from last month. I am still waiting to hear from the town that this body has decided to follow their rules and regulations, even though they didn't show it 2 months ago, and asking for an apology to the town of James Island. I'm almost finished. An apology to the
Mr.
town of
Walker, you
James
can't
Island.
be asking us to do that, so if, and we're not discussing any town business, thank you, sir.
Okay, not town business, it's just this PSD business, and it's asking for public recognition that you don't follow your rules and regulations.
Again,
You expect
we're not
everybody
gonna
else.
have you slamming
Thank
on
you.
us tonight, thank you, sir.
I believe the First Amendment in the United States says you can address your
Don't
grievances.
not address. Thank you.
I think you all are out of order.
No, we're
This
not.
man has
Point of
3
order.
minutes.
Excuse me,
The rules
gentleman
of-
in the back.
Hold on one second, please, ma'am. Rules of procedure states that it cannot be attacking us from the audience, and we can't be attacking each
I want to
other.
see that copy. I've never seen it in there. I want to see it right now.
We're asking for something that attack.
I don't consider what he was saying as an attack. It was very gentlemanly and polite.
It's disrupting the meeting. Mr. Gentleman in the back, this chapter does not prohibit the removal of any person who willfully disrupts a meeting to the extent that the orderly conduct of the meeting is seriously compromised. If it comes up again, I'd like you to remove that person. Okay.
Madam Chair, I strongly disagree with your position, Commissioner Hollingsworth. Mr. Laughlin has been a faithful attendant of our meetings, and often he uses this comment period to speak, and generally he stays within the 3-minute limit. And often he says things we do not like to hear. But I've never heard him attack a specific commissioner. At least in this occasion, I didn't hear him mention a name. Maybe he did, I didn't hear it. But he was just stressing something he felt the commission should do. And surely,
Well, the name was mentioned last time.
No, ma'am.
He said it's carried over this time. It's done. Any other,
Rule 17 under decorum says any person making impertinent or slanderous remarks or who becomes boisterous
Yes,
while addressing the
wasn't-
commission shall be barred
No.
from further audience by,
No,
before the commission
no.
by the presiding officer,
we
unless
have-
permission continue or again address the commission by granted by the majority vote of the commission.
Inez, we're in public comment time.
Exactly, and that's why we got to do what is correct. We can't, sit here and just.
We
can't-
don't go down to
Don't
town.
do that.
We don't go to town hall and discuss how they run their meeting, and they're not gonna come here and discuss how we run ours. They were very rude to Kay. As a matter of fact, Mr. Laughlin, who's not even on the commission, called a point of order. It's over, it's over.
All right, point
Next
of order.
person, please.
Let's go.
Robert Schumeyer?
Mr. Schumeyer.
You sure I should stay or just go out the door?
Open that door and get ready.
Can you
Okay,
get, Mr. Schumacher, can you come in the front so I can see?
What?
I'm stretching my neck.
Yeah,
I would like you to come in so I can look in your face.
well,
Get close
you
to
can
me.
see me all the time in church.
Okay.
Okay, I've been coming for over 8 years, maybe 9 years, and I didn't like what I just saw a few minutes ago. We're getting back to where we shouldn't have that going on. But my reason for really talking is that your rules and regulations regarding the fact that you ask for the public to come to your meetings. Okay, that's fine, but you don't let them talk. What you do is you let them sit, and I know you can't talk back and forth, that's right. But you discuss what goes on. I think at the end of the meeting, you should have a point where they can get up and put their input, because you've asked them to come. But you don't do that. You say, you can talk at the beginning. Okay, when can you? Wait a month. They don't come back. They get disgusted. Because I remember the last meeting we had. They all got up and talked about $8 million for the fire station. They didn't stay around to listen to it. If maybe they had a little chance of input, like they should have, maybe they would come back and be here, but they don't. The other thing is that I think that maybe you ought to have more than one meeting a month, because I think that there are things that come up that maybe we wouldn't have these Donnybooks that go on. Maybe we could iron it out a little better. That's all I got to say.
Thank you so much.
Franny Henty?
What's the name?
Franny Henty?
Randy.
Yeah, here I am. Hey, everybody, my name is Franny Henty, and I live at 615 Flint Street. I paid
What street?
615 Flint Street in Laurel Park.
When?
Paid my PSD bill on time out of my bank account every single month for the last decade at least, maybe 2 decades. This is a petition. I was told that it was very unlikely y'all would consider it because these are internet signatures, okay? So what I did was I decided, since it's quite unlikely that you guys would consider my internet signature, I'm now asking for a moratorium on building on all of James Island till stormwater
Ma'am, can you
management.
please pass out the petitions and back down from the table, please?
Okay, y'all have to share one,
Oh.
sorry.
I'll look and then I'll share. Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
and so, I was just now told that, what I've written on here too, I was advised, and I just got really kind of upset, basically, at all of the drainage issues that we've had. And there's 4 different jurisdictions, 4 different authorities that can blame it on the other authority, and who knows whose fault it is. But at any rate, after being told the computer petition could be ineffective, I decided to ask for a moratorium. And these, your back page will be the physical signatures, and I'm still working on. And it's gotten out of hand. I mean, and if y'all don't think it's gotten out of hand, I think you need to write a letter to your grandchildren and explain to them why we're ruining this town. What I was asking for specifically here was to please delay the granting of the access until the Wamba drainage study is complete.
2 minutes, ma'am.
Thank you. And has the James Island PSD done any studies to document that the existing water sewer system can handle the amount of increased sewage coming from all the new developments in the area? What is the state of the pipes of the current sewer infrastructure, and do all of the sewer substations have generator power in place? For example, in a neighborhood that's right next to me, there was no generator in place, and the power went out and raw sewage started spewing out of the pipe. So I mean, these are things that are
15
important,
seconds.
and we need to know this information before y'all start hiring a local to tie in sewer system, in my opinion, and in the opinion of 96 people, and
Okay, thank you. I do want to add real quick, and I didn't even know myself until last month, called Teddy Pryor on Charleston County Council, because they're responsible for all of this. The PSD is not. We're responsible for carrying the water to the substation, and yet they do have, generators, but they have one person on emergency duty who has to go around and check it. We have a lot of substations, but this is a Charleston County Council deal. And trust me, I agree with you. My street never flooded until this year, and even on the corner of Camp and Folly, when they did the, all the renovations, when you go by there, they still flood. But contact Teddy Pryor on Charleston County Council.
thank you. And will you sign my petition to ask for a moratorium until they figure it out?
Will I sign your petition?
Look at the back page. It has nothing, it's not necessary.
Hold on.
We're not supposed to be.
Point of order, you are not supposed to.
Can we have a moment of silence? I can't think of one.
Point of order, you can't talk under order in front of the public.
I can talk with her if I'm trying to inform her or something.
The rules, follow your rules.
Take mine with you to talk to Teddy and tell him that I signed it. Okay, Mr. Wilder, yeah, tell him I signed it, that I agree with you, I really do.
Okay, thank you.
Mr.
Anyone else want
Wilder.
to sign it?
As a long time resident on James Island, which is my home, not only is the Charleston County Council responsible for it, but Department of DOT. DOT is also responsible for drainage of these ditches around here.
Sandy Sims come out to my neighborhood and walked it with 30 different people.
Point of
That's the
order.
information.
But thank
Point
you.
of order.
We're not supposed to be
We're not
discussing with all
supposed to
the.
be doing this.
I need
All right,
to discuss
when I
it.
call
I
a
give
point
him-
of order,
give
you
him-
Point of order.
I'm gonna ask Mr. Platt his question and then we're gonna move.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Just in the interest of transparency, and I think you know, but I want everyone to know, that I've been communicating with Ms. Santy. I've not had the pleasure of meeting her before she came to the meeting tonight, but we communicated by email and a few phone calls. And this goes back to an email I think she sent to the whole commission, probably a day or two before Labor Day. And I think and originally she was going to be on the agenda, but you changed your mind about that. And I think what she's, Madam Chair, I think you're correct about county council not having done all it could for drainage. But I think that the crux of what Ms. Cynthia is urging is really doesn't have to do with so much with the drainage system, but it just to stop the development, that is to stop making it possible for development until, we can get a handle on drainage.
Okay, well, we don't have anything to do with development, but I do agree with you, trust me. But talk to Teddy Pryor, Charleston County Council, because they're the ones that make you clean your ditches. but the state will actually come by if you ask them to and clean the ditches and clean the pipes underneath.
Got that. Who does the sewage?
Well, we do the sewage, but on our substation, if one goes out, trust me, I wish you could see this building over here. There's a room half this size with nothing but lights and TVs. When one goes out, the light goes off, and they know where to go go check that one. But we have numerous substations, and it's happened on my street before, so I understand.
If a water table cannot handle the storm water, what happens when the storm comes? What happens to the sewage when the storm comes? If the water table is too full for the storm water?
Water, Madam Chair, she needs to call and discuss that with Mr. Wise or Mr. Hoffman.
That's it. Call Mr. Hoffman. He's the head of that department here.
Mr. Kaufman?
Hoffman, Hoffman. Okay, next one, I'm sorry, I normally don't talk with them, but I agree with this, and this is just getting worse. Next person, that's it?
Yes.
Okay. Oral, all right. Move to approve the regular minutes.
So moved, Madam Chair. I'll second the motion.
I'd like to discuss it.
We have a motion by Commissioner Brown Crouch to approve, seconded by Commissioner, whatever your name
Okay,
is.
discussion.
Ms. Woosley, did you want to second it?
No, no.
Okay, I'll second it then.
What's your name? Hollingsworth. Okay, any discussion on this?
At the end of the last meeting, and it was left out of this minutes, you said something about if we didn't approve of what you're doing, you could ask us to resign. I made a motion to remove you as chairman. She
It was not
seconded
on the agenda, it's not on the agenda
A motion
tonight.
was on
You're
the
out of
floor.
order. Point of order. Done. Done.
It wasn't even in the minutes.
Roll call vote for the minutes.
Commissioner Brown Crouch,
Yes.
Commissioner Engelmann,
Yes.
Commissioner Hollingsworth,
Aye.
Commissioner Fernodle, Commissioner Platt,
Come back to me, please.
Commissioner Wilder,
Yes.
Commissioner Woolsey,
No.
Commissioner Platt,
No,
motion carries.
Okay. All right, the next agenda item, this is a real short meeting tonight. Mr. Platt wanted to put on there about the regular commission meeting schedule. Mr. Platt?
yeah, Madam Chair, I'm not offering a motion this time, but, I think this is, even more appropriate than it would have been otherwise in view of the constituents' comments, tonight, urging us to meet more often than once a month, and I think it's, something, to evolve, to make a decision, but I would, respectfully, request that it be, that the matter be assigned to the administrative committee, and for the committee, to come back to the commission, with a proposal or not, perhaps it would be.
Okay, I'm gonna ask the parliamentarian this. This is the third time this has been on the agenda. Should it be put through committee, put up for gift?
That's totally up to you, Madam Chair. But you're right, it has been discussed over and over again. And what people are, you gotta look at too, if we go back to 2 meetings a month, and we go back, I don't think the actual second comment section will impact anything, but I think if we go back to 2 meetings a month, it's gonna impact the budget, and they'll have to relook at things, so. I would have Mr. Wise address it first, and then have him report to the administrative committee if that's acceptable to you, sir.
That's what I would do. He'll be back next week. Contact him and ask him his opinion and his thoughts. Because I brought it forward when I was chair of the administrative committee. They voted on it when it was, they changed the rules of procedure. But do me a favor and talk to Mr. Wise.
Well, how about this, would accomplish that too? Just call a meeting of the administrative committee and have Mr. Wise, say to the administrative committee, and they could decide whether to present a motion to the full commission or not. And while I'm speaking with regard to bringing up something that's been defeated in the past, I'm pretty sure that is the case if it's maybe in the same meeting or perhaps a certain term. But this being a new fiscal year, it's the first time it's come up this fiscal year, so I don't think it'd be inappropriate.
Yeah, that's true. And we did find out too that even though the person may have been on the losing side, it doesn't matter. You can, any person has the ability to bring something back and have it have it put on the agenda, because Ms. McFadden said that no, you have the ability. So just, I didn't know whether you were made aware of that.
Commissioner Kernodle is the chair of the administrative committee. Perhaps get in touch with her and ask if she will schedule a meeting, because
I will.
because it's not my authority to make her schedule a meeting, but she's the chair of the
Do I
administrative.
have your blessing to contact her to request that?
Certainly, you contact her. If she will schedule a meeting, that will be fine.
Thank you.
Okay, number 7 is committee and JIPSD representative report. Since Mr. Wise is not here tonight, there are no reports. If anyone has a budget question, give it to the secretary, Mr. Wilder, and he will present it to Mr. Wise. Unfinished business, none. New business, none. Correspondence and newspaper articles, none. So,
Madam Chair, under the correspondence, if I may, the letters in our packet.
oh, they actually are. I sent a letter to the mayor. We received a letter from Mr. Tecklenburg advising we have his full support to accept the tract of land on the corner of Prescott and Folly and put it in the town of James Island. We're waiting on the town to get in touch with us. It was supposed to be on their agenda for Thursday night. We were promised it would be, but it's not. And Josh said he would get it put on there and it wasn't. Garrett said he would get it put on there and it wasn't. So we're starting back over with that, but we have a letter from Mr. Tecklenburg to Mr. Hollingsworth. I offer this letter on behalf of the mayor's office and city of Charleston for our collaboration in working with you for your new fire station. Our legal counsel and planning departments will be requesting a meeting with the town of James Island to facilitate. I did receive a letter from the town, said the mayor Tecklenburg said he found numerous issues with his legal department, and he said that was not the case. But I asked Mayor Woolsey if he would put it on the agenda, and we have not heard back from him. That was on September 19th, so we're still waiting on that. And if I'm not mistaken, at the end of September, we have to have an answer to this. So, anything else you have?
No, ma'am, that was it. Thank you.
And I'm sorry I took over. Okay, I make the motion, we adjourn with no further business.
Second.
I'll give that one to Commissioner Brown Crouch. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Brown Crouch,
Yes.
Commissioner Engelmann,
Yes.
Commissioner Hollingsworth,
Aye.
Commissioner Kernodle, Commissioner Platt,
Aye.
Commissioner Wilder,
Aye.
Commissioner Woolsey.
No.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you all for coming. Have a great evening.
All right.